So this is the tool called QFD tool. QFD stands for Quality Function Deployment. It's also called the House of Quality. And this is the template for House of Quality HOQ or QFD, which is called as Quality Function Deployment. And you need to include the name of the project here. What is the revision of this project? What is the date? And this is going to have three important parameters, which involves correlations. Is it going to be a positive correlation or negative correlation or no correlation? And relationship. Is it a strong relationship, moderate relationship, or a weak relationship? And the direction of improvement, which is either maximum or minimum or targeted value. So here we have two important criteria. First criteria is customer requirement, which is nothing but the explicit and implicit requirement. And second thing is the functional requirement. I'm going to write all these functional requirement horizontally, and I'm going to write down all the customer requirement vertically. Okay, so customer requirement one, for the customer requirement one, the functional requirement is it can be 1, 2, 3 up to n. And for second customer requirement, we have the individual functional requirement. And for the third customer requirement, also we have the individual functional requirement. It need not be only up to 3, it can be up to n. Okay. So here, what we are going to see here is we are going to compare customer requirement against the functional requirement. These two parameters we are going to compare. And when we are comparing, we have scope for either maximizing the improvement or minimizing the improvement or to achieve the target. Let us take the first example where the direction of improvement is maximum, which means when you are comparing the customer requirement with the functional requirement, when you're comparing the functional requirement with the functional requirement, it is minimum, which means you can see here, we also have the rating in which we have seen list our products having the 3 points out of 5. Competitor 4 is having 5 out of 5. And the first competitor and second competitor are in par, and it is second competitor is higher than our product. Okay, so here when you're comparing the customer requirement 1 with the functional requirement, so here the direction of improvement is it should be maximum, because why it is mentioned as maximum, you can find the competitor 2 and 5, sorry, 2 and 4 are having high points when compared to our product. So it is mandatory that we need to maximize the requirement. And concerning customer requirement 2, you can see here we are having 5 points and our competitor is having 4, 1, 2, 4, which means that we can look for reducing the values. Okay, and when you're comparing the third requirement, customer requirement 3, you can see we are again 1, which we are also in the lesser side. It's very important that we need to at least achieve the target. Okay, so this simple is target. We need to, the direction of improvement here is to achieve the target. And it is also mentioned that what is the weight chart for individual customer requirement. and then the relative weight. Say for example, customer one requirement one will have 57% weight, customer requirement two will have 40% weight, and customer requirement three will have 29% weight. So you have to relatively look into what is the weight of the individual requirement, and you should always look for either maximizing a requirement or minimizing the requirement or to achieve the target. And we also have the important thing, correlations and also the relationship. So the tick dot indicates strong, and circle indicates moderate, and the inverted triangle indicates weak. So here, when I had when I have a inverted triangle as a weak, the relationship between the customer requirement one and functional requirement is weak. So there is a direction of improvement should be maximum. Okay. When you have the customer requirement two against which the functional requirement two and three are mentioned, the functional requirement and customer requirement are very strong for for the third requirements, and that's why it is meeting the target. Okay, and you can see here again, um, when I'm comparing the customer requirement two with functional requirement two, it is a circle which is moderate. Okay, and again I'm also taking one more example where I'm comparing the customer requirement three with functional requirement three. It's again going to be moderate. And when I'm comparing the customer requirement three with functional requirement one, it is inverted triangle, which means it's weak. So whenever there is a weak, you can see here there is always a scope for improvement. And whenever it is moderate, it is still okay. And we also have a point where it is meeting the target. And here we also need to put the importance of the customer with respect to the requirements also in the scale of 1 to 10. And what is the maximum relationship? So we need to ensure that we are also going to see uh, the various functions and against the customer requirements. Say for example, the functional requirement, we have seen a lot of functions, higher order function, lower order function, one-time function, basic function, design function, secondary functions, order time function, etc. So we have seen many examples. Let us take one example, enhanced aesthetics. That is one functional requirement. And the customer may have different requirements. The one customer, first customer may have different requirements, second customer may have different requirement, and the third customer may also have different requirements. So it's very important what is the requirement for the customer against the function. So that should be captured, and we also need to compare our aesthetics with our competitor aesthetics. Uh, it's not only aesthetics; you can also take some any functions. It can be meeting the specification or ensuring the warranty. You can also compare the warranty life of our product with respect to the competitor product in the scale of 1 to 5. And if we are low, we need to, there is a scope for improvement. If we are high, there is a scope for reducing the value such a way it is not going to uh, have over rating, but it is at least going to meet the next level of competitor. So for example, here to achieve the customer function, customer requirement two, our product benchmark shows that we are 5 out of 5, whereas competitor 1 and competitor 4 are having only 4 points. So still we can also look for reducing the value from 5 to 4, so that so that the cost gets reduced. At the same time, we are meeting the expectation of the customer as well, and also we are not compromising on the function. So here, this comparison will help to achieve the customer requirement. At the same time, the function requirement are also met. And we also have graph where we can compare what is our product with respect to the competitor 1, 2, 3, or 4. Our product is shown in red. This is the red, okay, and where we are for each and every customer requirement against the red from 0 to 5 is shown here, and this is the technical importance for the first requirement, first functional requirement, technical or the target for the second functional requirement, and this is the target for the third functional requirement, and this is the relative weight. We have also seen the relative weight, and this is the maximum relationship between the functional requirement and the customer requirement in the scale of 1 to 10. And again, here also we are comparing our product with the other competitor. Say, for example, for achieving the target for a functional requirement, out of 5 scale, our product is having only 1. Okay. And in the second functional requirement target, we are in 3 points against the competitor, where some competitors are 5. So here, when you have 5, there is a scope for improvement. But it's only one customer is above, okay? Whereas the remaining 3 customers are at par, or it is better. So we can put as target, and even here, when you look at the first functional requirement, target we are low, which means there is again a scope for improvement. And looking at the third functional requirement, we are 4, which is slightly better or in line with the target. Okay, so third one is going to be the target, and the second one is we can also see if required any optimization can be done. And coming back to the first functional requirement, you can see there is a scope for improvement. So this is the template of QFD, or it's also called as quality function deployment. We have seen a lot of functions in which there are some examples like meet specifications, withstanding temperature, withstand pressure, ensure safety, ensure warranty, withstand vibration, withstand temperature, ensure hardness, stiffness. So we have various functional requirements: transfer force, apply torque, receive force, generate pressure. Okay. So for each and every functional requirement, what the customer really want, or what is the requirement of the customer. So that versus the functional requirement, we are comparing the customer requirement, which can be explicit requirement or the implicit requirement, against the functional requirement. We are comparing, and we are doing the benchmark between our product and also the competitor product in the range of 1 to 5, and we are ranking it where we are finding a way for improvement and way for reducing the improvement, or to meet the target of the requirements. So this is all about QFD, which is also called as quality functional deployment, and which is a part of House of Quality, or HOQ. And this tool is really very much useful to overcome the cost when compared to the competitors. So whenever our product is having higher points, we can ensure that if we are providing the more functional requirement than the expectation of the customer, we can reduce some of the functions as those are not being required by the customer. And if we are low in some of the scale or some of the points with respect to some of the requirements, and if the customer requirement is slightly higher than our deliverables, then it's always mandatory that we need to look for improving the score to meet the minimum requirement of the customer in line with the competitors. So this is all about QFD. Thank you.